Hear that? Sounds like an irresponsible financial decision to me. It is also the sound of the oldest car in Gran Turismo 7, the Mercedes Esparcatora from 1929, a vehicle that won the Gran Turismo award at Pebble Beach, hence its inclusion in the game. It's currently available to buy in the Hagerty Legends dealership for 13 million credits, and I've done exactly that, so you don't have to. Now, I'm not expecting to actually change anyone's mind on this vehicle. Some will buy it for collection and completionism purposes only, in which case it's a no-brainer. So somewhat strangely, this review is aimed at people who don't actually intend to buy the car, but want to know what it's like. Because, it goes without saying, there are probably more wise ways to spend 13 million credits. So what do we have here then? Well, as standard, it's powered by a 6.8 litre supercharged inline 6. Sounds impressive, but let's not forget this car is 95 years old, so only puts out 177 horsepower. It's also physically very big, however despite that, it weighs about the same as a Volkswagen Polo GTI at 1270 kilograms. Or, for an even more weird comparison, an Aston Martin Valkyrie. To no one's surprise though, that's where any comparisons to an Aston Martin Valkyrie start and end. In terms of speed, it's about what you'd expect, from 342 performance points and standard comfort hard tyres. For some sort of context, around Laguna Seca it was about 6 seconds slower than GT7's other vintage car, the Alfa Romeo 8C from 1938. But now let's take a look at the tuning and the customization. For the latter, your options are unfortunately limited to just liveries. You can't change any body parts or even the wheels. However, on the tuning side of things, you can bump this thing way up. Fully tuned, it sits at almost 400 horsepower and astonishingly weighs just 990 kilograms with all the weight reduction parts fitted. Bolt on some racing tyres and it comes in well above 600 performance points. Serious territory, but can the Merc actually be any good at that level? Well, to find out, I chucked it as far into the deep end as seemed fair. A 2-lap race of the 600-point Clubman Cup race at the Nürburgring Nordschleife. And to its credit, the Merc performs surprisingly well. Drive well and you can just about win this event. On racing hard tyres, the corner speeds are pretty high and the brakes, surprisingly, don't feel too bad. That's not to say it doesn't have its weaknesses though, as it's initially a bit reluctant to turn in, and then with those skinny tyres, the rear is always going to be a bit wobbly. Some of that can be countered with tuning of course, but from my experience that may take a fair bit of trial and error. Also, the aerodynamics are somewhat of an issue. Top speed is only about 150 miles an hour no matter what you do, which caused big issues for me at the end of the lap here. Still, a 7-minute 30-second lap of the Nordschleife with negotiating AI traffic is nothing to be sniffed at. And of course, that's taking the car to extremes. If it can hold its own there, it certainly can in say 500 to 600 performance point events as you're seeing on screen now. It's not the fastest car for them obviously, but worth it for the novelty and the challenge of it all the same, if you do happen to own this car. Whether you think it's a priceless work of art or a stupid addition to GT7, you can't say it isn't unique. Thanks for watching.